Great. My name is Judith Mwangi. I think I will begin the meeting and then I'm going to give it to Njeri. It's a pleasure to be here and to be able to have this conversation of youth at the water policy table. I am a systems engineer by profession and the VP of Kenya Youth Parliament for Water. But and I hope to be able to learn a thing or two and be able to participate in the meeting. I hope you guys will also do that. We hope to be able to come up with various knowledge and we can be able to interact with each other with the short time that we have. And for that, welcome, Jerry. So you can welcome the speaker of the day. Thank you.
You. Thanks for joining. Let me introduce, I can introduce myself first. I'm Jerry Ngugi, the President of Kenya Youth Parliament for Water. Our speaker for the day is Virginia Wamboi. She's also a KYPW member. She's completed her MSc in water policy from PAWES, that is Pan African University Institute of Water and Energy Sciences. She's also done a BSc in Water and Environment Management from JKUAT. Karibu sana Virginia.
Thank you so much, Njeri. I'm really delighted to be here doing a presentation this morning. So as you have heard, my name is Virginia Wamboi Gacuthi, and my background is in water and environment management and also MSc in water policy. But currently, I'm working as a research assistant at Africa Research and Impact Network, where we deal with issues to do with climate change, climate and health, and also water. And with me, I also have my friend. She's an engineer. She's also an expert in water policy. And because of limited time that we have, she'll be helping me to tackle questions. If you have any questions in the chat, and I'll also let her introduce herself. Engineer Chizi, you can also introduce yourself as I share my screen.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Chizi. I have a background in hydraulic engineering and also an MSc in water policy, and I'm happy to be here with you this morning.
Thank you so much, Chizi. Njeri, can you help me share my screen because I'm unable that the host disabled that entity to share the screen. So you can help me out with that.
Okay. Muribi, kindly.
Yes, okay, let me.
Yeah, pardon. So I should.
Sharing rights.
Okay. How is it now?
Okay, right now it's okay. Let me share 1 minute. Can you see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So today we will be tackling, youth advocacy for water policy. And just before we start, I'd like us to ask one question, like who decides how our water is managed? And do young people have a voice in those decisions? Water affects all of us, yet we young people are often left out of the policies that shape our water future. We are often called the leaders of tomorrow, but when it comes to water, tomorrow is not good enough. The decision being made today will shape the future we inherit. So we youth, we are already researchers, we are innovators, we are entrepreneurs, and community advocates. But what we need is the opportunity to turn our voices into evidence, evidence into policies, and policies into actions. And so this is what we'll be tackling today, youth advocacy in water policy, and this is going to be our overview. Because of time, I won't go through all of them, so from introduction to public participation rights. So we need to know what is youth advocacy for water policy. And this is a process through which young people actively influence decisions, laws, regulations, and programs related to water resources, water supply, water sanitation, hygiene, and environmental conservation at large. And the advocacy seeks to also ensure that water policies are equitable, like to everyone, they are sustainable and inclusive, like everybody is being included from grassroots level, women, youths, men, and also responsive to our community needs. And through advocacy, our young people, we can shape policies and also improve access to safe water, to protect our water, our resources, our rivers, our oceans, and also strengthen the climate resilience. And so why do we do youth advocacy? So we are going to look at the importance. And one, in Kenya, youth represent a large population. And therefore, us being involved will ensure that these policies reflect the need and aspiration of future generations. And we also the largest number that are being affected by challenges of water challenges. It affects us directly through, water scarcity, through poor sanitation facilities, such as in our primary schools, those are our sisters and our brothers, through waterborne diseases, and also climate change impacts through droughts and also floods, like we experience floods. Was it in March here in Nairobi? And the time that we women and children spend collecting water instead of just attending schools. And another reason as to why we do youth advocacy is just to promote sustainable water management. We are the innovators. We have ideas, we have good ideas, we have new technologies that can help us support water conservation, rainwater harvesting, like in places like Makueni, having those sand dam and how we can protect them, through water recycling and digital water monitoring system, so that we can actually reduce the non-revenue water that usually happens through our water system. And so another reason is to strengthen democratic participation. Advocacy encourages that youth participation in governance and decision making processes by promoting transparency and also, accountability. Who is responsible of doing what and at what time? So we will go ahead to know why the objectives of doing youth advocacy for water policy. This is one of it. One of the aim is to influence water-related legislations and policies that we do have, promote universal access to safe drinking water. Like, this is a basic need and everybody should have access to it. And also, improve sanitation and hygiene services, protect water catchment. Like this one for sanitation and hygiene services, like this program, was it just some few months you went to prison just to promote this and improve ministerial and hygiene, because it's part of sanitation and hygiene. And so another aim is to protect water catchments, like our water, our rivers, our oceans, just water ecosystem at large, and also increase investment in water infrastructure to enhance climate resilience for water management, and also just to promote meaningful youth participation in these water governance aspects within the country. And so we have to look for the key water policy issues for youth advocacy. And one is access to safe drinking water. Like currently, 1 in 4 people, like globally, that is like about 2.1 billion. They still lack safely managed drinking water, and that is an issue that we need to tackle. And having youth advocate for this, it will help us do expansion of water supply systems, reduction of water shortage, and also, affordable water tariffs and water quality monitoring. Another key issue is, water resources protections. We are our ecosystem, our water ecosystem, or our water sources are being threatened by pollution, deforestation, encroachment, and poor waste management. Like I was doing a research recently, and I came across a picture. It's on waste management. I came across on a picture of someone disposing like fresh fecal water to in Nairobi River. So you can imagine, if we advocate, if we youth come and bring out our voices, we will advocate, for this river protection, and just highlighting that, doing this is not right. We need to protect our water and our ecosystem, and also our environment at large. So another key issue is water sanitation and hygiene. Poor sanitation contributes to diseases outbreak, just like cholera. And when we come and do advocacy, we improve water sanitation and also just hygiene facilities. We provide hand washing infrastructure, menstrual hygiene management, and inclusive sanitation facility for persons with disabilities. We also have climate change and water security. Climate change affects water availability throughout. And climate, we cannot run away from climate change. Like, it's happening, it has been happening, it will continue to happen. And it has been causing, droughts, floods, unpredictable rainfall patterns. And if we advocate for this, people will come up with a way of, just know how to do adaptation, and having those climate adaptation policies, drought preparedness. Like, we Kenyans, we depend on agriculture mostly, and when we advocate for this, farmers will be able to know how to, to prepare so that at least they can plant early, have flood risk management, and also water conservation strategy. And another thing is gender and social inclusion, which is really, really important. We women and girls, they often bear the burden of water collection, and they spend most of the time collecting water. And if we advocate, we will have gender responsive water policies, equal participation in water governance, protection in vulnerable population, and also inclusive access to water services. We have principles of effective youth advocacy, and one is evidence-based advocacy. And the message should be supported by research findings. That is why we do research, community assessment, water quality, and government statistics. We just don't do research to just, do publications, but the findings that we have should be evidence-based, that inform policies, that inform us policymakers. Another principle is participation. Youth should, engage community, consult stakeholders, and include marginalized group. You always have to start at the grassroots level. Like, involving those communities, it's so important, in that you'll identify the kind of issues they have and how you can actually solve them. Another principle is collaboration. Collaborate with these government agencies, civil society organization, even international organization that can help us, improve these infrastructures for water. Also do collaborations with schools, university, community groups, women groups. All those people, when they come together, they come up with better policies, with better governance structure that will help us protect our water resources. And also accountability. Advocates for should be monitor policy implementation and demand accountable for duties bearer, like who is responsible of managing this ecosystem. So you know where to go to air out your issues. And so we have steps in youth water policy advocacy. And the first step is identify the problem. Is it inadequate water supply in school? Is it polluted rivers? Is it policy sanitation, poor sanitation coverage? So after identifying the problem, you will know who to consult, you'll know where to go and what to do. You'll do, focus group discussion with even those stakeholders will make you know what kind of the challenge the community is facing and how you can handle it. And then the second step is for you to gather the evidence. If it's access to water, who are those people who are those people who have access and who are those people who don't have access? If it's disease outbreak, carry out disease statistics, community testimonies, what have they been going through? Take photos, do observation, and gather the evidence that will help us, inform policies. And then another step is develop advocacy goals. For example, frequent water shortage in school. So what does it need to be done? The goal is just, to improve water infrastructure. If it's buying another tank, another storage tank that can help students have access to adequate water and safe water. So develop a goal that you need to achieve. And then the fourth step is develop key message. This is, message should be clear, very clear, simple, evidence-based, and action-oriented, something that can be actually be done. And number 5 is identify decision maker. Is it the county government? Is it water service provider or water resource authority or school boards or member of parliament or any relevant ministry that they are supposed to, to take part in decision making? And number 6, choose advocacy strategy. Organize those meeting groups with youth, with policymakers, carry out public campaigns, use the community forum, awareness work, exhibition and awareness events, use your social media. I know Kenya, we are very good at, utilizing our social media, especially X, the Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We are really good in doing that, and it can help us, advocate for these issues that we have and we experience like every single day. Another one is step number 7 is implement advocacy action. Carry out petition campaigns, do cleanup activities, do tree planting, public hearing, and water conservation campaign. So by implementing this, we can actually be moving towards achieving our goal. And number 8, monitor and evaluate progress. You'll always have to sit back, evaluate what you have been doing, monitor it first, and also evaluate and have feedback. What really worked and what did not work? And if it did not work, how are we going to proceed? Or how are we going to proceed here so that we can get different results and achieve the goal that we're actually looking for? And challenges that we face as young people in water advocacy is limited finance. Many youth groups lack funding for advocacy activity. in Kenya, this is a really big issue and I don't know how we are going to tackle this. And limited access to policy makers, decision makers may not always engage youth effectively. Another one is lack of technical knowledge. Some youth may require training on water governance and policy processes because not all of us are experts in water, in environment. We are experts in different field, and so we need training on these matters. And another one is political barriers. Like political interest can influence water policy decision making. That is really clear. And another one is low public awareness. Like community do not understand their rights regarding water policy. Some of them even don't know that it's their basic right and they should have access to it. So strategies that can help us for youth to strengthen youth advocacy is one, we should build a youth leadership skills like what we are doing now. Another one is strengthen policy literacy so that people can learn. It can be through media, it can be through literature where you write books or those books. There are some research that we were doing, and they have come up with like books that can help even those people who have not gone to school. Like they have a lot of pictures, infographs that can help them of how, like, steps that they can take. But it was on clean cooking. Another strategy is establish youth water network, promote partnership with government institution, because most of them are the one who provide, finances that can help us. So if we really partner with them and be part of them, it can also improve how we access to these finances. Yes, use digital technology and social media. Is it on LinkedIn? Is it on Instagram? Is it on TikTok? Which can help us strengthen youth advocacy for water policy. Also encourage youth representation in water government structures. Work in those rooms and be part of the presentation. Just don't attend them to hear whatever they are saying, but be part of making a voice, and also invest in capacity building and mentorship program. This is whereby you train people on how they can protect water resources, how they can manage the water that they have access to, how they can protect, is it borehole, how they can manage, how they can do repair. And when you teach them, they can also go and teach people. It's just like a train on trainers program. You teach someone and then they will go and teach other people. And so by the end of that, people will be aware and know how to actually protect our water resources. So, what are the expected outcomes of a successful youth advocacy? Yes, we will have improved water policies. We will have increased access to safe water, better sanitation and hygiene services, enhanced protection of water resources, increased government accountability, because we actually know who is accountable, and they'll actually be accountable for those projects. Have stronger youth participation in governance, and it will help us, gain that confidence and just airing out our issues on matters to do with water. And the last one is have a more resilient community in the face of climate change. They know what to do, the adaptation strategies, the mitigation strategies that can help them. So we'll have a more vibrant community with vast knowledge on water issues. So we have legal basis of public participation in Kenya, and the main document that guides us is the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And this is the main foundation, and it guarantees that we have power. Like the power belongs to people, and that is like Article 1. And we have rights to participate in governance. That is from Article 10. and 174. We have access to information, which is Article 35, and public involvement, in lawmaking and policy processes, and participation. Public participation is not an optional, but it's a constitutional requirement that everyone has to participate. And legal basis of public participation in Kenya, we have our Water Act for 2016. And this law, it requires like stakeholders' involvement in water resource management. We have community participation in water service provision, engagement through bodies like water resource authorities, and communities have right to influence water decision. Like, you'll always have to start with community. You just can't do a top-bottom approach. You have to consult them. And through our government under devolution, counties are mandated. They must involve citizens in planning, in budgeting, and also in policy making. And laws like the County Government Act 2012, it requires that you should have like public forums, like barazas, citizen consultations, feedback mechanism whereby people give out their issues, the challenges that they're actually facing, and even sometimes most of them offers the shot, so they know the solution, but because they are not given that chance to do that, the act, the law, mandates that people should do the public forums and consult the community. And our public participation rights, we have rights to be informed about policy and decisions that are being made. We have right to access to documents, those budgets, those plans, those laws that govern our water. Give opinion, whether is it written or is it oral. You can write, you have right to write those policy briefs to those, just airing out those key messages and the challenges that you are facing. You have right to be heard and considered before decisions are made, so that you can be clear on whatever issue and decision that is being made. To receive feedback on how your view were used, you have right to that. And how to exercise this right is through attending public participation forums in your county, whether you're in Nairobi, whether you're in Kisumu, whether you're in Mombasa. You have right to participate and submit memoranda during policy review, join community groups or committees, those are youth groups within your county, engage with leaders, your governor, your MCAs, and MPs, and air out your issues. Use social media and petition to raise issues. As I said, Kenya, we are so good in doing this. I think we should be doing this for water issues. And common challenges that we face is poor communication about meeting times, and token participation. That is, you just give your participation, but they are not considered. And technical language barrier. Most of the time they use, some people use technical languages that people are not able to understand, and it becomes a challenge. We also have like a limited youth inclusion, like we are not included into these meetings to just give out our opinion. And why this right matters is that it usually promotes transparency and accountability. It ensures policies reflect real community needs, and it also strengthens democracy and trust in government, and also improve delivery, e.g. in water, in sanitation, and also in health. So it's really important we as youth be able to stand out there, air out our issues, and be vocal about it, and turn our evidence that we have gathered from our research into policies, and our policies into actions. Thank you so much. I hope I kept time. Thank you so much. That has been my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Virginia. That was amazing. Amina, would you like to take up the next part, the Q&A?
Yes, no problem. We can open the floor for a few questions. I've answered a few questions in the chat box. Any questions from anyone in the webinar?
Or a comment? I can.
Or a comment as well. Maybe I can reflect the questions for those who haven't opened the chat box to see. Martin asked, why does the National Water Bill seek to charge private water, manage and control the price? Anyone who's also willing to contribute, you're welcome. There's a question here. Should water tariffs be similar in urban, peri-urban, and rural areas? Anyone? Okay. So when it comes to the pricing of water tariffs, I believe and think that the blocked or tiered system would be best because water access in urban, peri-urban, and rural areas is a bit different. When it comes to the water requirements in urban areas, especially compared to rural areas, you'll find that in urban areas, our primary use for water is domestic, while in rural areas, the primary use for water is agricultural. So when it comes to also the water standards and water quality requirements for domestic water and for agricultural water use, this tends to be different. So if we are producing water for an urban area, there's some things that you must identify and remove from the water. But when it comes to example, agricultural water, the suspended solids are not treated equally to domestic water. So I think there should be a blocked system when it comes to water tariffs in different areas. That is my idea.
Yes. Also add on to that, yeah, it should not be equal because the social economic differences between people living in rural area and also urban area, it's really different. And people that tend to live in urban area, they tend to have high income more than people living in rural area most of the cases. And just briefs that are very expensive to those people who are in rural area, it will be a very big burden to them. Still, they
Moderator, are you in a position to mute Lillian?
It's what I'm trying.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, so maybe I can also contribute to that
Yes.
discussion, tariffs. From what I understand, based on where different water service providers are, which these companies that actually charge the tariffs, or rather determine the tariffs. They also do that through public participation. And so I attended some of them, and some of their arguments that, especially in urban areas, you have to have infrastructural development for the water itself, and also for the sanitation and sewerage services that people will generate as a result of using this water. So all this will come at a cost, and usually this company Some are, they are not fully public, or they are not generating, they are not getting the resources. So they have to generate the revenue from the water that they sell, and also to be able to build this infrastructure. And I understand usually that the tariff setting is usually done through public participation. They have to engage the public about the tariff, and then they can submit to this agency called Water Service Regulatory Board with the evidence that they engage the public and so on. So that is why usually it's different for an urban setting and in the rural setting. Yeah, so thank you.
Yes, thank you, Isaac. It's true. Unfortunately, the gap that is needed to finance the water sector in Kenya is very large, and it would take a lot of work and a lot of cooperation for us to be able to bridge the gap. So I think these gaps are what cause the issue of water affordability versus access and sustainability question that keeps rising. We also have another question of what is the role of youth in water quality monitoring, and should the results be shared with the community during community engagements?
Okay, maybe I can answer that. What is the role of youth in water quality monitoring? So youth, we act as key drivers of citizen science. We can use our mobile apps and testing kits to monitor water quality and also map contamination where water has been contaminated, hotspots. Like nowadays, you can use even, GIS. People do a lot of research, and it has also come in handy in terms of, doing monitoring. Yes, we are the key drivers. And as I mentioned when I started my presentation, that we are the key innovators, we are researchers, and we have good ideas that can help us. So when we take part in monitoring, and I said that you have to do monitoring and also evaluation. You have to sit back and reflect what has been working, what has not been working, and if it did not work, how are we going to handle that? And for sharing part, yeah, it's really important you share the results with the community engagement, which helps in building trust. It can help also improve, local source protection, and it prompts immediate household behavior change. So it's really important to always give back the feedback to the community so that it helps in building that trust. And when you have that good rapport with the local communities, with the community, they'll be even be happy to share with you more information about the key challenges that they're actually facing. And from that, you will have people more improved and have really good access to this water, safe water. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that. I don't see any other question. I think